the Amsar Masahif.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the tradition is that, yes, Uthman's codex sort of wins the day, but then it's sent out more or less to five. I think there are variants to this. Some traditions give more, but the basic account is it's sent out to five cities. So Kufa, Basra, Mecca, Medina, and then Damascus or Hims, I guess, Syria sometimes, generally. So, but that they're not all identical, right? So, is that a problem? Is that how is that solved? Is that historical in your opinion?
So the tradition doesn't say whether they were identical or not. It's just like he sent copies. Okay, now we should assume that they must be identical. I mean, they are copies. Okay, so you codified the text, and then you make copies of it, and then you send all these copies to the different regions. It makes sense that they are all the same, especially that, yes, they are mostly all the same. They are very, very similar from the beginning to end, except 40 locations or 45 locations.
Very, very few. Yeah.
And these differences has to do with particles, with the wa and fa, and is it qala or qul, like an alif, or a missing proposition, a missing particle, a huwa, he, a pronoun. So these differences are what we characterize as scribal errors. Now, of course, the tradition doesn't recognize them as scribal errors. There are no scribal errors in the Quran. God is watching over his final message and over the people who were copying the text. So there's no way that these are scribal errors. And the tradition tried to explain these different, if you want, 40 to 45 scribal inconsistencies that they were sent in the Masahif al-Amsar because they were qira'at, they were readings. And Uthman and his committee intently made these variations and sent them to the different, again, the chicken and the egg. It's like you really can't win here. I mean, you are a theologian. You know that the theologians will always find a way to interpret texts, and you will always find a way to solve contradictions. And whether they are historical or not, I mean, this is what the tradition says, and we know how the qira'at developed is that they all go back to these regions.